Hello and welcome to WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Next Tuesday night, there's a special event that will be held in Ferdinand. It's the annual meeting of the Dubois County Soil and Water Conservation District. And to talk about that, with us in the studio is Judi Brown. She's the Executive Director for the DC SWCD?
That's correct.
Or something like that? Okay, all right. So, which is really part of the USDA.
We are a partner to the USDA.
Okay.
Soil and water conservation districts are actually a part of state government, but we receive a lot of support from the county, and also we work in partnership with the USDA. So it's a...
So you have a lot of bosses.
Not really. We just have a lot of partners. We work together with a lot of different entities and organizations.
Okay, now let's talk about next Tuesday night. Is your annual meeting or your annual dinner.
Yes.
And it will be, let's go through the who, what, when, where, where will it be held, when, and how to get reservations.
It'll be at the Ferdinand Community Center. It will begin at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, January 28th. And if the weather is bad, and we've had a little bit of that this winter, if we have snow and we have to postpone, our snow date is the 30th on Thursday. But we'll keep our fingers crossed for Tuesday, the 28th at 6:30. And you can get tickets by calling us at the office at 482-1171 extension 3, or any of the SWCD supervisors have tickets. So if you know one of them, that would be Brenda Summersheim, Alan Smock, Glenn Minke, Greg Hoffman, or John Jackal. All 5 of them have tickets, so if you know them, you can feel free to contact them or call us at the office, and we'll be glad to provide you with tickets.
And the ticket is just $7.50.
It's $7.50.
I mean, that doesn't even cover the cost of the meal, does it?
No, it doesn't. We have donors that are helping us with that, but we wanted to provide a good meal, and then we have a speaker that evening, so it'll be a good evening. We try really hard to have the business meeting over by 8:30, so dinner starts at 6:30, and then you should be heading home by 8:30 or shortly after. So it'll be a good evening, a good meal for a good price.
Okay, now in my mind I'm thinking, okay, this is something really just for agribusiness people, just for farmers. Is that the case?
Not necessarily. Everyone needs to be concerned with soil and water quality, so anyone in the county is welcome to attend.
Okay, so there's no like I'm a member.
Nope.
Okay. All right.
Every county resident's a member, if you want to look at it that way.
So I'm a member.
Yes.
Oh, good for me. So at $7.50, you can pay at the door, but
yes,
you do need to know ahead of time,
right.
don't
We
you?
want to make sure we have enough food ordered, but yes.
Is there a limited number of people that can come? Do you fill up?
We plan for up to about 200 people, okay. So I doubt that we'll fill up, if you to put it that way. We'll have plenty, so if people want to come and they want to just come that evening, I'm sure we'll be able to accommodate them.
Now, one of the most important parts is that you are going to have a speaker.
Yes.
And who is the speaker, and what will they be speaking about?
This year, our speaker is a little bit different. We typically will bring in a guest speaker from Purdue Extension or somebody in the soil and water community, but this year we're trying something different. We actually have a video that we're going to show. It's called Undercover Farmers, and it is about soil health. This video is about farmers who use cover crops and good farm management practices and build up their soil. So that's why it's undercover. It's under the cover of the soil or under the cover of the cover crops, but it's called Undercover Videos. Our district conservationist through the NRCS, Bart Pitstick, will introduce the video and then offer a few comments to help clarify some items in the video, and also he'll do some soil health demonstrations after the video. So it should be very interesting.
Okay, so Undercover Farmers is a little play on words.
Right.
Meaning the dirt under the dirt.
Right,
Okay.
They're not secret agents.
Okay.
They're just farmers who are using good practices to protect the health of the soil.
You're providing a service for farmers and agribusiness people to make what they do better and more efficient, correct?
Right.
And is it open to anybody? Is there a fee involved if somebody would like some information or some help from you?
No, there is no fee. Our office is on Executive Boulevard, and anyone who has questions about soil, about water resources, can give us a call or stop in. And if we can't help them, we try to provide them a contact information for somebody who can. So depending on what their questions are, we're here to provide answers or to direct them to somebody who can provide that answer.
Do people bring you dirt and say, I
Yes,
don't know
they
what's
do.
in my dirt, what's going on?
Sometimes they do. Most often what people actually bring in are leaves. They want something identified, or insects that they're finding. So they'll bring those in, but very seldom people bring in jars of soil.
Okay.
What we'll do for somebody who has questions about their soil for their garden, or if they want their soil and their crop field tested, we refer them to laboratories or somebody who can actually perform the test, because a lot of times people want to know the pH, they want to know the nutrient content in their garden or in their soil, and so we'll direct them to wherever they can get that tested so they know what's in their soil. And we also have people bring in water, and we can do some simple basic tests to find out if there's nitrates or what's going on in the water, but otherwise that goes off to a lab too to be checked.
And one of the goals of the Soil and Water Conservation District is to get people to be using less chemicals? Is that because you're trying to get people to use what's already there to provide nutrients into the soil, or to plant organic things like the radishes, those great big huge radishes that you plant?
Right. We're not necessarily saying use fewer chemicals. What we are saying is use them wisely.
Okay.
If you fertilize your lawn, if you're using any kind of pesticides on your lawn or golf courses or wherever, follow the labels. Don't over apply. What will happen is if you put too much on, it just runs off with the next rain and it winds up in our rivers or our lakes. So we want to encourage people to use the pesticides and nutrients wisely. The other thing that we're doing with the promotion of the cover crops, the radishes, is those things hold on to the nitrogen. So it will save particularly farmers, but anyone who fertilizes their yard or garden. In the long run, it'll save, if you use these cover crops, these radishes, it holds the nitrogen so that next year when you're getting ready to plant again, that nitrogen is there, available, so you don't have to apply as much. So when you're using these practices that conserve the nutrients, you can test the following year, or you'll need to test to know what is actually in your soil, and then you don't have to apply so much. So it will save money in the long run if you do know what's in your soil, and it carries forward from year to year, and it will save you money in the long run.
And there are opportunities to see this in action, albeit a very slow process,
Right.
With the land partnership between you and WJC and other farms around the area.
That's right. The SWCD does have a partnership with the Vincennes University Jasper campus. We call it the Land Stewardship Initiative. And for the past couple of years, Vincennes University has been very generous in allowing us to manage their crop ground. And so we are using no-till on the farm. I understand the farm was no-tilled for years, so we're making sure that we continue to keep the no-till practices going, where we don't actually disturb the soil and turn it over when we plant the crops. We have been planting cover crops every year to try to capture the nitrogen. Cover crops also help keep the soil in place. We've had a couple of really hard rain events. When you have something protecting the soil, it eliminates some of that erosion so the soil doesn't wash away and wind up in the rivers or the lakes or anything that's around the crop fields. So what we are doing then every year is we're studying the nutrients in the soil. We're checking to see what's improving, what's changing in the soil. We've been at it for 2 years. It takes several years to really make some changes, but that is something that we're doing, is monitoring the changes that we're making in the soil and then sharing that information with local landowners so that they can learn along with us about soil health and make changes to their properties to manage their soil, manage their nutrients, and improve that soil health.
Okay, and folks, if you want to find out more about what the Dubois County Soil and Water Conservation District does, go to the annual dinner.
That's right.
Again, that's Tuesday night. It is $7.50 per person, and there's a great chicken dinner meal.
Yes,
Okay,
fried chicken.
Fried chicken dinner
Yep.
meal, and you should call in reservations because you need
Yes.
to know numbers of people.
Right,
Okay, and they
exactly.
should call you
At 482-1171, extension 3. We're usually there 8 to 4, so call anytime. If you call after hours, you can leave a message. We'll get the message, and we'll hold a spot for you. I also wanted to point out that the Undercover Farmer video, it explains all about the soil health and using cover crops to capture that nitrogen. So what we've just been discussing here will be explained probably a whole lot better in that video.
Plus, someone's there that you can actually talk to in person if you want more information.
Right, right.
Okay, and that is Tuesday night. Make sure you call Judi and say, hey, I want a couple of tickets because I want to go. And it's open to anybody. It's not just restricted to certain people. And remember, if you live in Dubois County, you're already a member of the Dubois County Soil and Water Conservation District. You also have other events that are coming up that you want to talk about a little.
Yes, we've been doing some planning for some spring events. We have an event coming up on February 18th, and it's really exciting. It's a part of the National No-Till Conference, and the Howard Buffett Foundation is helping to sponsor this event, but there will be a national webinar teleconference, and the Vincennes University Jasper campus will be one of the host sites. So there will be a panel discussion at the National No-Till Conference that will be broadcasting right here in Jasper. And that will be on February 18th. And that is another thing that we'll need reservations for, because we don't want we don't want to have too many people and not enough seats for everybody. So that's in the morning on February 18th. And if you're interested in that, give us a call and we'll see about getting reservations for that. We are also planning for the Southwest Indiana Crop Seminar. That will be at the fairgrounds in the Clover Pavilion on March 7th. And that too will be a very interesting morning or afternoon. I'm not sure what the schedule is, but we are working with presenters, and we hope to be talking about fertilizers and nutrients and the proper placement of those things to maximize the crop growth and minimize the input costs. So we'll have some really good speakers, and that's on March 7th. So we're looking forward to that too.
And any of the information on the Dubois County Soil and Water Conservation District, give Judi Brown a call at her office, or better yet, next Tuesday, go to the annual meeting.
That's right.
Judi, thank you very much for being our guest.
Well, thanks for having me.
And make sure that you take care and be a good steward of the soil and the water. Thank you for watching WJTS in.form. We are local people watching local people.